fresh air with new kicks on. The Crack King Podcast. A breath of fresh air with new kicks on. The Crack King Podcast. A breath of fresh air with new kicks on.
Here we go. This is the Crack King from the Crack King Podcast, and I'm here with the review of Loki, Season 1, Episode 2. I got my boy Mike Check with me. How you feeling, Mike?
Good, man. Thanks for having me. I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah, let's get into this motherfucking shit. Right?
The variant, yes, yeah.
The variant. And my thoughts was it was a little bit the same as the first episode. Wasn't too much variant about that. What you think, Mike?
No, I did everything I wanted it to do. It kind of answered a lot of my questions. For me, they dove right into it. I think I jumped the gun on the Kang the Conqueror thing. I think they're gonna slow that. We'll wait for that. But
at the end of the series, I think we're gonna see him.
And actually, in this episode 2, he learns about the destruction of Asgard. So that all for me just tied it in. Now I'm just going to go into it with an open mind. And again, it's kind of a sad moment for him because, that was his home, where he was raised. And, but with this episode, he was quick to, he had his moment, but he has ideas. He's working on something now.
Oh yeah. He's working on a master plan. And he's trying to bait and switch their asses. Loki and Morbius interaction. But you can see the setup. How he was
he's just going with it now.
Yeah, dancing around him, making fun, making it fun, monologuing.
Now.
Yeah. A lot of backstory, I want to say, for the TWV. Was it TVA? TVA, right?
TVA, yeah.
TVA. They pushed like their timeline was the major timeline.
Right.
And clearly from the female Loki appearing and showing it that they don't have the main timeline.
Yeah.
Just like in Endgame, they explain how there's a multiverse of timelines. And I think the TVA, the Space Lizards, are just stuck. And they don't see the bigger picture, that they are not the main timeline.
Well, in this episode, they say that so in episode 1, they talk about a multiverse. They're working on one timeline, and this lady Loki is messing it up. It was cool to see Loki kind of like help. It kind of almost looks like he's And that's part of the gimmick is he does have this master plan, but
you know what? I did hear Mobius was talking about the Lokis were the most hunted in these different timelines. If they're the most hunted, they're the most aware. But you know what? When the reveal came, the lady Loki, I wasn't too like, oh my gosh, because she really didn't kind of look like him. Which I get it, but
I was waiting.
I don't think that's the real Lady Loki. I think because they were showing the Lady Loki's power or whatever variant Loki, this new power where he possesses them or something like that.
Yeah, it calls it enchantment.
I want to see who's the real button pusher because in the scene with Morbius and his boss,
it's let's see.
They were talking, they were having that moment.
Yeah.
She kind of paused as if. Yeah, she kind of paused as if, they're not happy. It just sounds like bullshit.
But that I think that's for the audience. Now remember Renslayer and Mobius and all these other people in the TVA were created by them.
Easter egg alert! I'm finna drop one. I heard someone say Krakoa. Did you hear that?
Oh, no. Okay, I caught that, and I was like, wait, hold on a second. No, they said Krakatoa.
Oh, well, fuck me dry.
So I watched it once with my kids the first time, and I went back, and I was like, hold on a second. And I put the subtitles on. You're referring to Krakoa from the more recent X-Men No, they said Krakatoa, the volcano, wherever that may be.
Oh,
You got to catch
you just crushed my Easter. You got any Easter eggs? Because I couldn't find any.
No. This was a pretty subtle episode.
Yes. To me, at the end, spoiler alert, when she fractured the timeline, splintered it, it was just super chaos. It seemed like she had a plan, but to me, it was just chaos like Loki liked to do, just total chaos. And then when he escaped.
Yeah. As far as we know right now, they are Loki. It's in their character to just drop such chaos. Very vague. We don't see exactly where she's going, but yeah, in a Loki manner, just pure chaos now. Yeah. Pick up on the next episode.
Let's hope so, man. I thought it was going to pick up with that action. Where's she at? Right there. And it looked like she got turned into comic relief too.
I like it when Mobius. She was laying down the law for the operation in the mall, but Mobius came back with her like, well, don't lose your time caller again.
Yeah, so, like he needs to stay with me because I'm the only one capable of keeping up with him. Because clearly she couldn't handle it from the first episode either.
And then she lost him again.
Yeah, she lost him again. I mean, he is the god of mischief, and he is very capable.
Yeah, they spent the whole half of this episode working to figure out where the other variant Loki was,
and training Loki.
Cool. That was cool. Yes. I think for audiences, they like a little problem solving. That's cool. Yeah. And then the second part was just chatter between.
Yeah, and he was going through training. I thought that was pretty interesting, learning about the timelines and how to deal with a timeline. Yeah. And what I thought was really funny is when he wanted to look at other files, and the only file he could look at was his own.
But in this episode, we find out that that was the last bit of information he needed to find out. And I think that
Asgard was destroyed.
To some of his motivation later on down the road.
Any predictions you having for the next episode?
To fulfill his master plan, he needs more information. And so for me, I think maybe episode 3, he's going to spend a lot of time getting some of that information. He's going to sit back a little bit, just follow Lady Loki around maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you think there's going to be like a sex scene between the both of them?
That'd be weird.
Time travel is so convoluted and crazy to me. I mean, who hasn't sat by themselves and wish they had a time machine and wish they can go back in time and change things? Apparently that's frowned upon. The stakes have risen because of his escape. He ran. So now variant agent or sergeant, I like to call her Sergeant Chocolate.
Like a Hunter B-15 or something like that.
Yeah, Chocolate Booty B-15. Who knows? I don't know. But she's pissed, and she's going to want to erase him. So I think the action is going to rev up because they're going to be trying to get with him.
That's her thing. She's going to take it personal.
Yeah, she is. She's already taking that shit personal. I feel like it's going to be action-packed. I hope it's going to be action-packed because it hasn't been so far. Yeah, let's talk about why they changed the schedule from Thursday, Friday to Wednesday.
I think I read on it Black Widow is going to come out on a Friday. That's almost too much MCU to handle.
But do we even care about Black Widow anymore? It's been like 2 fucking years.
Well, okay, we know. Well, from what I understand, this movie will take place shortly after Civil War. So we're going to go back a bit in the timeline. But I hope that they kind of just leave it there because we got a lot more stuff going on that even happens back in the timeline. If I'm not mistaken, Shang-Chi is going to happen back in the timeline. Black Widow is back in the timeline. Doctor Strange is going to happen probably, you know, in the near future after Endgame. Just like WandaVision, you know.
This is the Crack King from the Crack King podcast. I got my boy Mike Check with me. We're going to be doing this every week, man. We just like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. I don't know where the like and subscribe is going to go, but maybe right there. Like and subscribe.
Put it somewhere.
And we're going to keep this fucking ball rolling, man.
The Crack King podcast. A breath of fresh air with new kicks on. The Crack King podcast. A breath of fresh air with new kicks on.